Okay, the last video took too long to explain something that's simple, so this is just going to be just about the ghost itself. I said you had to have a mini map. You don't. You just need to take the camera. If you have a mini map, it's gonna lag out the Android anyways because it's gonna be trying to render it at the same time as play the game. And if you're running and you see the guy moving, it's really jarring, and you'll probably trip and fall or something. So take the follow camera and the guy and set it to like 6,000 or 5,000. Thinking about setting it to 5,000. 6,000 is honestly too high if you get it onto a small screen, and those glasses suck. So I'd recommend just getting something like the Samsung Gear VR and just strapping it sideways to your head or something, and don't not horizontal because you'll run into a tree. But just make it sideways. Like ideally, the best thing would be for it to be like a mask, like strapped to your head, or like an eye contact for augmented reality. But that's in the future sometime. So this is just gonna make it real simple. It took 22 minutes to describe something that's not all that difficult to understand. This thing down here, this trigger volume, is your finish line. So you need to know that because here's what happens with the finish line. You can set this to whatever time you want. This time pause from time is how long that component's going to take to reach that finish line, and that's fine. That has to be set or he'll teleport there. So you don't want him to teleport there because you'll never be able to beat it. Um, let's start right here. If you press F, the first thing it's going to do is set your guy back to that position wherever he was. You want it to be the original position. It's going to set whatever you're racing back to wherever it was. So you want that to happen, or else you're just going to be sitting out in the middle of nowhere. Because I can't figure out how to get acceleration to work yet in that Y and Z axis. Second thing it's going to do, it's going to set the time back to 0. Again, just set this up exactly how this is. The gate with the event tick, enter, it exits, it delays 0.10 seconds. So it's counting 1.10, 1.11, 1.12. It's counting by 2 decimal points up or whatever, it's just going up. It's just more accurate that way. Adds 0.10. You just have that variable time. And this is pretty much where it goes. It goes to a text, to a string. You actually don't need that. I don't want it printing there. But, I'm sure it'll still work if you take these three can actually probably be taken out. Actually, you don't even need print string. That's just there if you want to see the time that you got. You'd only need that if you wanted to like measure time and then have it like display on the side of the screen, like right here. But if you're not doing that and you just want to run in the background, you can just really delete all three of these and leave this blank and it would still work. And time would just be ticking in the background. So, to continue on with that, when you press F, this will start ticking after, 3 seconds, which is right here. See, it's going to sequence, it's going to delay 3 seconds, it's going to close the gate, or no, what does it do? Oh yeah, if you press F, first it closes the gate, so it can't count anymore. And then it delays it 3 seconds, and it opens it back up, and it's set back down to 0. Oh, there it is. I was like, where's the 0? There's the 0 that it's set to, because it sets it back down to 0 first. And you want it to close the gate, because if it's set at 0, or if it's not set at 0, it'll just keep ticking. It'll delay 3 seconds, and it'll keep ticking from wherever you were. So if it's been like 20 seconds, it'll tick yet again. Oh yeah, before I go, this is where your character is. That's where the component is. Okay, so sequence. This is the second thing that happens is your finish line. They return, or that's the third thing really, because it's then 2. They return back to your component. Whatever you're racing returns back to where it came from. That's the third thing that happens. And it delays it. The reason this is connected, because it delays 3 seconds, the time's delayed 3 seconds, so when 3 seconds is up, it starts moving again, so it's always accurate. So you have a 3-second countdown to where you can put that to wherever you want it. But the thing is, these need to be matching, or it's not going to work. it's gonna be like a mismatched race. Like the race will start 3 seconds, and the guy will be going in after 5 seconds. And I mean, you can have it that way. I don't know why. I just set it. Just set it to teleport. You don't want them, it's fucking going all the way. Sorry, going back all the way to there. The third thing that happens. Oh yeah, that's the same thing. That covers it. Delay 3 seconds and move. So that should explain it. Like that's that side. All the make a variable, set it, set that. Remember, this is your finish line, so that needs to match up to where the trigger volume is. That wherever your trigger thing is, this needs to match it. So I've got to set mine to like the front of the trigger volume. So that needs to be set to the front of it and just match it to that. Okay. Again, this is once that's set up, you're good to go. Really, this is what will set it. Time pause from time is not time pause from time. The reason it's called that is because, well, actually that's why it is called that. It is time pause from time, but your guy will hit the trigger, and it takes whatever time was ticking, 4.12, 4.13, and then you cross the line at 4.14. It takes that time, and once you hit the front of the trigger, it takes whatever was ticking in time, and it takes it and puts it into that variable. I should say the rate, like the race speed that you got, or the race time that you got, but that just made more sense to me. So time, if you can see, when the actor begins the overlap, when it hits the front of the trigger, if the time pause from time is less than the time, or no, if the time, you're actually racing on time, and then time pause from time is what goes, here I'll show you, what goes to the guy that you're racing against, which would be you, but I mean, that's, if you want to get it, if you want to make it like that, this is what happens. It's always at 11, right? Time pause from time is always at 11 until you cross that the first time, and that's what his is set to, and that will change, because this is 11 seconds, but if what's in the stream, if what's ticking when you cross that is less than 11 seconds, and then it just keeps going down and down and down, whatever time you get, if that's less than that, it sets the guy you're racing to that time. See what was in time when you crossed, and if it's true that it's lower than whatever time was what you were racing against. See, this is like confusing because I don't even know if it's math. You're like taking like a variable, you're taking like time as it's moving and like taking a piece of it out and then plugging it in. But it's like even hard to explain, but it works. So, well, it's really not that difficult. I mean, okay, but yeah, like I said, I don't want this to be long. But that's pretty much all there is to it. This is really the main thing that you need to know. You can put the trigger anywhere, but this has to be where your trigger is, or it's going to be, again, a mismatched race. Again, you can actually, I've had it to where you can see set, get actor eyes, get actor eye. I've had this, get actor eyes viewpoint, and I was like, well, then I'll be able to stop anywhere. But no, that doesn't work because you're just stopping anywhere. It's not a race at that point because you're just racing different races every single time. A race needs to have a finish line. I didn't know that until I did that, which is pretty weird. Okay, that's it. I hope I got it all. Like, yeah, there's nothing more that needs to be explained. That's it. Okay. You should be able to do it from this and then modify it to fit your needs.